boys and girls, what's up? Welcome back. We have another lesson for you guys. Remember, we are going through all the stories in the Bible. Last week, you guys heard from Miss Keisha and the homie Kesomi. They talked about Joseph, right? Kind of the end story of that. Pretty much the story of how the Israelites ended up in Egypt. Right? So you guys remember that Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers, went to Egypt, thrown in jail, was able to interpret Pharaoh's dreams, ended up getting this super cool job opportunity as the king's right-hand man, and basically saved the entire world from starvation because there was no food. And because there was no food, people would come from all over the world to Egypt because they had food. And the people who came to Egypt, well, they were Joseph's brothers, right? And Joseph cared about his brothers so much that he said, hey, why don't you guys come to Egypt and live with me? I'll take care of you guys. You guys will have food. It'll be great. Think of it as a big family reunion. And that was how all the Israelites ended up in Egypt. And they were there for a very, very long time, 400 years, all right? So this is going to lead into the story of Moses, into the plagues, and Moses telling Pharaoh to let my people go. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a miracle that God did for the Israelites as they were leaving Egypt. All right, and this miracle happened at the Red Sea. All right, so let me tell you guys this story really quick. And hey, what's up, Moses? Bro, dude, you made it out of Egypt. You're here at the Red Sea. How are you doing, man?
Good.
All right, sweet. And I see you brought everybody. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Okay, no problem. Well, let's jump on the story. Let me tell you what happened. So, Moses finally got the Israelites out of Egypt. And they were going to, where are you taking them, by the way? Do you remember where you guys were going?
Jerusalem.
Yeah, or Promised Land, right? Which was, modern day Jerusalem. Homeboy's getting fancy on me here, already naming the place and hasn't been there yet. You can at least name it after yourself, but okay, whatever. Jerusalem, Promised Land, it works. So Moses leads the Israelites out of Egypt, and and God is leading them. In the morning, it's a pillar of clouds. At night, fire, so that they can see where they're going. They end up coming to the Red Sea, and it's this big body of water separating them from where they want to go. So Moses decides, hey, we'll make camp here. Let's hang out for a little bit. We've been walking for so long. Let's rest. Well, back in Egypt, Pharaoh's there, and he's in his palace hanging out, talking to all the Egyptians, and realizes, oh man, I made a big mistake. I should not have let the Israelites go. I'm bored. No one's going to build my pyramids. I have no one else to talk to. Let's go and get the Israelites back. So he jumps in his chariot with the rest of his soldiers, and they chase after the Israelites who are waiting at the Red Sea. So a little while later, the Israelites are camping out, they're hanging out, they're waiting for directions from God, where to go, what to do, and they start hearing this loud sound in the distance. They all turn around, and they see Pharaoh after them. Horses, everyone has weapons, spears, and swords, all the soldiers. They are freaking out. Everyone is like, we're going to die. We should not have left Egypt. We're going to die here in the desert. At least, we had a home. We were safe, kind of. We were fine, not really, in Egypt. Moses was like, guys, we're going to be fine. So Moses had all the Israelites pray and cry out to God, and God told Moses this super cool plan. He told Moses, yo, Moses, stand at the edge of the sea and raise up your staff, right? The same staff that Moses was able to turn into a snake and to perform the other plagues with, right? So Moses stands at the edge of the sea, raises the staff, I got the power! And miraculously, the Red Sea splits in two. Boom! So imagine, you have a wall of water on this side, you have another wall of water on this side, and dry ground that you can walk through, kind of like this picture, right? Moses in the middle, dry ground right here underneath his feet. Water, water. Dude, if you are a surfer, you would love this, right? This is great. And Moses tells the people, hey, walk on through so we can escape from the Egyptians, right? So the Israelites, they make a run for it. They're walking through on dry ground. Of course, the Egyptians see this and they give chase. However, God does another cool thing. He has the pillar of fire block the Egyptians, advance so that the Israelites can safely get across. And God confuses the horses and the Egyptian soldiers, so they start, riding all over the place, bumping into each other. It's total chaos. Now, finally, the last Israelite makes it across, and now God tells Moses, raise up your staff one more time. And boom! All the water ends up coming back together, drowning all the Egyptians. It's like, Soak City, Splash Mountain, raging waters. All this water just comes and all the Egyptians are drowning, swimming with the fishes, baby shark jaws. And God was able to perform this miracle to save the Israelites so that they could make it to the promised land. Man, that's a great story. Dude, Moses, how did it feel when you split the water, bro? Was it pretty cool? Was it weird?
I felt powerful.
Yeah. Dude, if I can control water too, I'd be I could split swimming pools in half. Dude, that'd be amazing.
Moana vibes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. In your face, Mally. Perfect. All right, so boys and girls, that's the story of the miracle that God performed for the children of Israel when they were leaving Egypt, crossing the Red Sea to get to the promised land. So I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. Moses, you know all these answers because, bro, you were there. You lived it. You actually performed some of this stuff. And, we know your story in the Bible, but let's see how smart these kids are at home, because, they weren't there and, they did read this story and I did tell them about it, but let's see if they remember what happened at the Red Sea. So, first question, Pharaoh let God's people go, but he ended up changing his mind. Why did Pharaoh change his mind?
Because nobody could do the work for him.
Yeah, back in Egypt, all the Israelites did the work, right? They were servants, they built all the buildings, they harvested the food. They did everything for the Egyptians. The Israelites were slaves. All right? And with the Israelites gone, well, who was going to do the work? Pharaoh's not going to do it. So he wanted the Israelites to come back to do the work for him. Second question. When the Israelites saw Pharaoh and his army chasing after them, what did the Israelites do?
They sat on the ground and started praying to God.
Yeah. They freaked out and then they finally came back to their senses and they prayed to God, right? It's kind of like what we do. Something bad happens, we panic, we get scared, and then we pray, right? But our first response, because we believe in Jesus and we know how powerful he is we should pray to God first before we start freaking out, all right? But they ended up praying to God and God ended up performing a miracle, right? So question 3. What was that miracle? What did God do when Moses stretched out his hand? What was that miracle?
He split the Red Sea.
Yeah. The miracle was the splitting of the Red Sea. It was someone karate chopped the water and it was boom, split and opened up a pathway so everyone can walk through it. Well, question number 5. Did Pharaoh and the Egyptians chase after you guys?
Mm-hmm, they did.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, man. But then what happened?
They ended up drowning in the Red Sea.
Yeah.
The walls, well, not walls, but the water walls closed in on them.
Yeah. Yep. So the Egyptians were not able to chase the Israelites all the way through because God had all the water crash up on them and they drowned. So God was able to save the Israelites by performing this super cool miracle and using Moses, right, to get the Israelites across to the other side of the sea. So boys and girls, that is the story for this week. Make sure you tune in next week for the next story, because we're going through all the stories in the Bible. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be great. See you guys then. Peace.